So the next thing that we have to talk about is YouTube. That's the platform I'm on. I'm super, appreciative of this platform, regardless of some of its positions that it takes, etc., because it's provided for me to be able to do something outside of the daily 9 to 5 grind. And I appreciate everybody that watches the channel, and I can't say thank you enough for that. But YouTube itself reveals more about its NFT and metaverse ambitions. This article is coming from Yahoo, so it's more traditional media. And it says YouTube has expanded on its approach towards digital collectibles such as NFTs and its metaverse ambitions. The global streaming service first announced its interest in the space in January with the idea of using NFTs in Web3 space to benefit its creators via additional revenue streams and new opportunities to engage with audiences. It has now opened the doors for its content creators and community to leverage Web3 to form new opportunities via its approach, which maintains a focus on utilizing blockchain and NFT technology to benefit its users. Now, I haven't seen anything personally in the dashboard. If you guys are not aware how these things typically roll out from the YouTube creators perspective, you'll usually have some sort of thing like they did with their merchandising. Speaking of which, you can buy the Keep Calm Mind On t-shirt down below. That's an integration through Teespring where they allow me to basically upload a design to Teespring and then connect that store to YouTube and display it under my YouTube channel, which allows me to hopefully gain more revenue streams, right? And it has. Thank you guys, everybody that has ordered. I think we sold like 10 shirts, which is amazing. But we do have 170,000 subscribers, so a few of you could also still hop in there as well. That being said, just kind of fun. What I have seen from this is that we don't really necessarily have access to it yet. The largest creators will typically get it rolled out to them. You'll start seeing those things happen on their channels. Those features start getting unlocked. And then eventually, like, I'll get a beta version of it probably, and then I'll be able to deploy it and talk more about it. As it sits right now, I only have these articles to discuss, though, because I don't have hands-on experience with it at this time. First, focusing on emerging Web3 environment, a YouTube blog post said that Web3 opens up new opportunities for creators with other new technologies like blockchain and NFTs, allowing creators to build deeper relationships with their fans. YouTube then noted the possibility of a verifiable way for fans to own unique videos, photos, art, and experiences from their favorite creators. And this one's going to be really interesting because obviously that's something that Logan Paul is working on. He's such a large creator that more than likely he has some sort of representative at YouTube that he's discussing these things with. And it looks like this is going to be the direction that even major platforms like YouTube are going to move into. And it's going to be a really exciting time because this is going to be huge adoption. Imagine if every large YouTube creator is all of a sudden selling their NFTs in Ethereum, on Ethereum in YouTube, and you can purchase like my how to mine video of 2021 and say you own an NFT of it. Hey, like if it's like big creators that are like participating in this, we're going to be talking about quite a bit of an uptick in activity on the Ethereum blockchain. For miners, that'll be good, at least until they move to proof of stake. And then to back that up though, and from what I've heard, there are talks of partnerships on the Web3 front for the actual hosting of this type of content. I'm not going to go into detail at this time, but look forward to news that will be, pretty earth-shattering and pretty good for the crypto mining space as well, in my humble opinion, in regards to this specifically. And that's going to be really good as well, because the miners aren't going to get left behind in this, even if ETH moves proof of stake, to the best of what my ability to interpret what's happening at this time. But Dubbed a compelling prospect for creators and their audiences, YouTube said it has many responsible considerations to make in its approach to new technologies, which have incredible potential to change how creators and fans interact and engage with each other online. YouTube also touched on the metaverse, which could enable its viewers to watch videos together in a virtual environment. This would not be dissimilar to what some of the virtual VR worlds are doing already, and it'll be really interesting to see something as large as YouTube adopt it. It would, in theory, kind of set itself apart from like Sandbox and Decentraland because, you know, we're talking about a massive corporation investing into it, as well as kind of a shift. What I would see this competing with, obviously, would be Facebook's Meta or Meta's Facebook. You get what I'm saying. So although YouTube didn't specify which metaverse environment it would use, blockchain-based metaverse platforms such as the Sandbox and Decentraland have become a massive attraction for brands and businesses worldwide looking for exposure in the virtual world. It said it's, quote, thinking big about how to make viewing more immersive, end quote, a niche that a metaverse environment can fulfill, with gaming being a particular area of interest. Quote, it's still early days, but we're excited to see how we can turn these virtual worlds into a reality for viewers, end quote, read the blog post. Now, some of this you can kind of already do. Like I said, like there's virtual worlds where you can, you know, get together with a group of friends. It can be like a pretend big screen. You can play a YouTube video, movie, whatever it may be. What will be interesting is the monetization of this, obviously how it ties to NFTs, etc. It could be kind of fun. The bottom line here is, though, NFTs and Web3, from my perspective, as I see it, even with the problems I see in it, isn't going anywhere at this time. I think it's going to be a big deal. We're talking about most of the transactions on Ethereum coming from it. We're talking about big players hopping into it. And we're talking about sort of a revolution of how the internet is handled. What's going to be interesting is the centralized control from the platforms versus the decentralized options or alternatives, and how those mesh together at the end of the day. Because remember, with cryptocurrency, with Web3, what our focus should be as a, I guess it's hard to call it a movement, but as a group of people that are interested in cryptocurrency, blockchain, and what it provides the public, is to remain close to those principles of peer-to-peer without a third party, independence of the individual, security, privacy, these sorts of things that still shouldn't be left in the wayside. And you can't let large institutions change this by providing more convenience, essentially. Because what Google has done, and YouTube as a whole, has basically offered a service that we all utilize, and in return we give up a lot of our security and privacy. And that is going to be something that, while I think in certain realms makes sense, should still be protected in other portions of blockchain and cryptocurrency as a whole. So it's kind of a tricky topic. I think I don't want to delve into that specific philosophical endeavor later, maybe in a dedicated video, because I find it very interesting. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.